Whoa! Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Xander Rice and welcome to Zero Rice Films 2. This is actually my second channel. If you want to subscribe to my main one, we post short films, wrestling videos, just kind of like this one, and all sorts of crazy skits and stuff. So if you want to subscribe, hit the link in the description. But hello, welcome to the channel. If you know what's going down already, then you know that we're about to rank my favorite matches of August 2023. August was last month, just ended, and so many things happened in the world of professional wrestling. You had AEW All In, the biggest wrestling show of all time. You had SummerSlam, you had the ending of the G1 Climax, New Japan Pro Wrestling, just so much. I try to watch a little bit of everything, AEW, WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor occasionally. So just to try to get my fill, making sure these lists are as complete as possible. Of course, these are just my opinions. I put my own little star ratings on it too. So we're just going to jump right into it. The first match I want to mention, these are my top 10 favorite matches. They're in no particular order. We're going to do a little bit of honorable mentions at the end that didn't quite make the cut, but are still very good. Alright, we're going to start off with SummerSlam match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defending against Finn Balor. Now this one was a great back and forth match. At the very end, spoilers alert, I almost thought Damian Priest was going to cash in, but he did not. But it's all about the suspense, I think. This match really had you hooked in. Slow burn at the start, but explosive finishes at the end. Just makes for a great match. I give this one 4 stars. Next match I thought was pretty great wasn't the finals, but it was close to that. Kazuchika Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr. at the New Japan G1 Climax 33. This happened on August 10th, I believe, 2023. And these two are just masters of their craft. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, one of the masters of technicians and holds and stuff. He's like the British Bryan Danielson, if you will. What else is going on? And Okada, of course, one of the greatest of all time, a living legend currently living in Japan. And these two just put on a great technical battle. And of course, Okada got the win in the end. But next up we have, might be a controversial take. I actually really enjoyed this one. The Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Women's World Title. Saraya versus Britt Baker versus Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida at AEW All In on August 27th. I give this one 4 stars for a number of reasons. I like all 4 of these women. I was a little bit skeptical going into this match, of course, because I'm like, well, we've kind of seen the Outcasts versus the homegrown stuff a lot. Shida and Britt being the homegrowns, and I feel like all these 4 women have faced each other in some way or another repeatedly over the last few months. So I was like, okay, they're just going to do it again. But I think this is probably one of, if not the best, of all of their outings. Everyone was on top speed here. Of course, with the breakup of the Outcasts a little bit in the middle there. Minor spoilers for this video so far if you haven't seen these matches. And yeah, of course, Saraya getting the big hometown win, everyone cheering, and there's streamers and everyone's crying. Saraya's family got into it. I think that's really why I liked it, because a lot of people that are hating on this match haven't really followed Saraya's career, her life story. And I've been there since she debuted in WWE, so it's been a long time journey. If you haven't watched Fighting With My Family, go check that out as well. So I give that one 4 stars. I liked it. Most people didn't, but hey, you know what? That's alright. From AEW Collision for the Real World Championship, CM Punk versus Ricky Starks with the special guest referee, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This one was fantastic, let me tell you something. CM Punk, one of the legends of wrestling today, and very sad what happened to him. Him getting fired from AEW. I don't believe it was the right decision, but that might be a video for a different day. And Ricky Starks, he's one of the fastest growing stars. Of course, he's been there from AEW in the very beginning, the early days, as they say. But just seeing these two come head to head with, of course, special guest referee Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which led into an altercation after the match. It was just a real good wrestling match, as they say, and that's what I admire so much about Collision, is that it's just good old wrestling. People hate each other, they want to fight, so they fight. Easy as that, simple as that. And they put on some great matches as well. So yeah, I give this one 4 stars. Up next, a lot of these are 4 stars. It's really hard to get a 5-star from me. I don't know. But next up, we have another match from SummerSlam, actually. It's going to be Gunther defending against Drew McIntyre for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now, this one was just a slugfest. Much like their WrestleMania match earlier this year, I attended WrestleMania on night 1. Not night 2, I didn't get to see the triple threat match with Sheamus included, but I really wish I did. That would have been the price of the admission. I'll say that because that's one of my favorite matches of the year so far. But this one was like a great sequel, I think, and if they have a third one down the line, I'm sure it's going to be even crazier because these two just went full force, slapping, chopping, moves off the top rope, and they're both pretty big men too, so it was quite the sight to see. I gave this one 4 stars. Next up, also from the G1 Climax, this was Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Tetsuya Naito. I gave this one 4 stars. You know, you take a look at these two names, these two guys who've been on the ends of New Japan, rising up to the top over the years and years, and they are 2 top guys in New Japan. You look at like who are like the top 5 guys in New Japan, they're going to be on that list no matter what you're talking about. And Tanahashi, yes, I will admit he's getting a little old, he's getting a little rusty in the ring. His joints don't be jointing like they used to, but Tetsuya Naito can still go pretty well. So I was like, alright, this match is going to be pretty good because it's just 2 legends, I think. But I was not expecting how great it would be. I should have known a little better because these 2 guys are masters in the ring, but yeah, it really is quite the sight to see. I keep saying that, but hey, you know what? It was. My next 2 matches are also from the G1 Climax, one of them being Will Ospreay versus Tetsuya Naito. This was leading up to the finals. Whoever won this match would go to the finals to face Okada, so it was a very, very important match, and in the end it was Naito. I really thought it was going to be Will Ospreay who won it. I was actually kind of rooting for him in a way. I really wanted Will Ospreay to win. I thought this was going to be his year, especially because he's just been on fire lately. He's been appearing everywhere, wrestling everywhere. Rev Pro, all sorts of things like that. But Naito eventually got the win, and it was a brutal, hard-hitting match. After the match was over, I didn't think Naito was actually going to be able to compete in the finals because he just looked shook. He was the most shook I've ever seen him. Ospreay hit him, I don't know, maybe a couple, too many times in the head. I forgot what the move was, but Naito just looked rocked after something. He didn't know where he was. His eyes were all wobbly. I don't know. But it was quite the hard-hitting match. And yeah, this one I gave 4.5 stars. And I actually believe it was better than this match right here. The finals of the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 33. We have Tetsuya Naito versus Kazuchika Okada. This one's got to be on the list because it was just fantastic. Everything about it, from the beginning to the end. Okada really knows how to build a match. I think he's the master at the slow burn match, and then leading up to the, you know, the climactic conclusions. But Naito eventually got the win. I thought it was going to be Okada for the 3rd straight year in a row, but it was not Okada. But Naito broke the streak, and he went all the way up to raise that cup really high. And yeah, very proud for Naito. Go Naito. And then up next we have the Coffin Match between Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve and Christian Cage at AEW All In. So there was a lot of things going on leading up to this match. Christian and Darby have this rivalry, then Darby has this rivalry with Swerve, and Swerve had this conjunction with AR Fox, and AR Fox was with Darby at first because they are friends, and then he turned on Darby, but then Swerve turned on AR Fox. Before that, AR Fox went to Nick Wayne's house, who's also a friend of Darby's, who he brought in recently, and they beat the crap out of Nick Wayne. And then Swerve was like, I don't need you anymore. So he turned on AR Fox, and then Christian, who had previously had that rivalry with Darby, he came in, and he was all like, I hate you too, Darby. And so him, Christian and Swerve teamed up and they're gonna fight Darby, and then Sting is there because you gotta have Sting in Wembley, so he is in the match, and then they're like, it's gonna be a coffin match. It's like, wow, okay, great. So it was all very thrown together like that. There's a story in there somewhere. It's a little convoluted, but it was in there, I guess. So going into it, you're like, okay, should be alright. I mean, Sting and Darby just had a crazy match with Jericho and Sammy just a few weeks ago. And while that match wasn't as good as this one, I don't think, because it didn't have Sting trying to kill himself. Sting did do some crazy stuff in this one as well, as he always does, and so does Darby. So does everyone pretty much, but I don't know. I think this is one of the most fun matches on the card. It was shenanigans happening everywhere. But yeah, I should start doing top 10 worst matches of the month, because I actually think one or two of them from All In might be on my top 10 worst matches of the month. Don't get me started with that Stadium Stampede. I did not like it. Much love to Eddie Kingston, but my goodness, I thought that match was a mess. And looking at like the two of the most extreme matches of the night, I really thought this Coffin match was the better of the two. And how could you not love Sting and Darby coming out to Metallica? It was pretty sick. So now, I think that's 9 matches so far that we've talked about. I'd like to go into the honorable mentions before I talk about the final match here. An honorable mention, Edge vs. Sheamus on the August 18th version of SmackDown, 3.5 stars. This one gets an honorable mention because it's Edge's retirement match, as most people were speculating. Of course, they were celebrating 25 years of Edge, and it was a very home-felt ceremony for Edge, because he was competing in his hometown as well, and his family was all there and everything. And it kind of did feel like a send-off for Edge in a way. There was rumors of his contract coming up and stuff like that. So who knows if that is Edge's last match, but if it was, you know, I thought it was a good note to go out on. 3.5 stars. Another one I gave 3.5 is Jack Perry versus Rob Van Dam for the FTW Championship. Now, Jack Perry's in a lot of hot water. I'm not the biggest Jack Perry fan at the moment, but this match did entertain me. And I mostly just kind of like it because it proved all the haters out there wrong. That Jack Perry, that Rob Van Dam can go still. There was a lot of hate leading up to this one. Rob Van Dam doesn't know how to wrestle. Well, he shut those people up real quick. Or he doesn't know how to wrestle anymore. Another honorable mention is Christian Cage versus Darby Allin on Collision. I give this one 3.5 stars. This is leading up to their Coffin match, of course. And yeah, I just thought it was a great Collision main event. And I wish we can go back to those main events like that. We did just have Dax versus Jay, which is pretty good. But more stuff like that. And finally, the last match we're going to talk about today is the main event of All In, Adam Cole versus MJF. I give this one 4.5 stars. I might change it a little bit. I might take it down to 4 stars, but when I was watching it, it was a 4.5 stars, almost a 5. I thought it was good, just as good, maybe a little even better than their first encounter on Dynamite 2 months ago when it went to a 30-minute time limit draw. This one went, I believe, over 30 minutes. They knocked each other out, and that was the only thing I did not like. They went for the double clothesline on each other. They knocked each other out, and the ref, without any hesitation, counted 1, 2, 3. And everyone was like, what? And then MJF was like, we're going to continue the match. And then it just continued. And I was like, okay. They could have just continued. I don't know why they added all that in there. Just shenanigans, as they say. Yeah, I thought it was a great match. Honestly thought Adam Cole was going to win it for a second, but then I was like, nah, MJF has to win. He's at the moment, he's got more momentum. He's a bigger star than Adam Cole at the moment, I would say. So, great match between the two, and the bromance of the summer just continues right on. Well, we talked a lot about matches today. And if you want to hear about more matches, well, guess what, folks? I run my own wrestling promotion, my own wrestling show. That is right. It's called Supercharged Wrestling. You can watch it at the link in the description right here. It's a crazy, wild show. If you want to start from episode 1, you can. Supercharged Wrestling down below. My name is Xander Rice. Thank you so much for watching. Good night. Mwah. Good night. Bang.